All right, so you're thinking about putting an in-ground pool in your backyard, and you've probably heard of the 3 different types of pools: concrete, vinyl, and fiberglass. But what really separates these 3 kinds of pools and what's gonna work the best for you? So we're gonna go over that today. I'm gonna try my best to give you an unbiased view of all 3 different types of pools, because I'm gonna be upfront with you, we install fiberglass shells, but I'll save my opinion for the end. So we're gonna go over the pros and cons of all 3 types of pools, so you can decide what's gonna be best for you. Because honestly, there really isn't the best type of pool, because everybody's different and they all have different wants and needs, and different pools work better for different kinds of people. But I'm also going to share with you as to why choosing your installer is just as important as to choosing what kind of pool you want, because there are installation problems with each type of pool. So let's go over them. All right, so we're gonna start with concrete pools, also known as Gunite or Shotcrete. These are the king of customization. So the pros for concrete pools are you have unlimited customization and design options, because you can freeform design whatever you want to fit your needs for what you want for your project. Concrete pools are also extremely durable, lasting 50+ years. The cons for concrete come with long installation times. It has a rough surface, which is prone to algae growth, and because of that algae growth, you're gonna be spending a lot more time brushing and cleaning your pool. You're gonna spend more on chemicals, and every 10 to 15 years, you're gonna need to replaster or refinish that concrete surface, which can cost thousands of dollars. Another maintenance item with concrete pools is acid washing. So you're also gonna have to take that in consideration when it comes to a concrete pool. But if cost isn't a factor for you and you're fine putting either the time or money in for you or someone else to refinish that pool and keep that pool clean, then concrete might be what you need. So a couple installation watchouts when it comes to concrete pools. Concrete pool performance depends heavily on craftsmanship. Improper concrete mixing and curing leads to cracking. Rushed or uneven plaster jobs can cause surface degradation, and poor engineering can result in leaks, shifting, or failure over time. You need to choose a builder with a track record in structural engineering, surface finishing quality, and local soil expertise, especially in those freeze and thaw zones. Let's talk about vinyl liner pools. Vinyl liner pools are definitely the most budget-friendly option for the initial installation. They offer a smooth surface, customizable shapes and designs, and that lower upfront cost, and they're faster to install than concrete. The cons to vinyl liner come with its long-term upkeep and maintenance costs. Liners will usually need replaced every 5 to 10 years, depending on how rough you are with them. There's the aesthetic wear over time, they're susceptible to wrinkles and fading, and out of all 3 types of pools, they have the lowest resale value if you're gonna consider selling your home after your pool installation. Also, if you want stairs for your vinyl liner pool, that's an add-on. It's not actually built into the pool itself. You need to add that as an extra cost. And if you want a saltwater pool, you're gonna have to probably go with polymer panels, which are more expensive because that salt can corrode that steel over time, and it doesn't even have to come in direct contact with the steel itself. So you're gonna have to weigh those options if you want vinyl liner. And for the installation watchouts, liner fit is everything. Misalignment leads to wrinkles, floating liners, or uneven floors. Steel or polymer panels must be square and level, braced to prevent long-term shifting, and a weak vermaculite or sand base under the liner can also develop divots or erosion issues. Pick a builder who has experience with high traffic liners and precision floor work, and can provide liner replacement services down the line. All right, let's talk about fiberglass. Fiberglass pools are factory molded shells that are dropped into place with a crane, and they're known for being quick to install and easy to maintain over time. Pros of fiberglass pools: they're smooth and they have an algae resistant surface. They are the lowest in long-term maintenance. They have quick installation, it's days, not weeks. There's no liners to replace. You have lower chemical usage and better energy efficiency as well. And for the cons for fiberglass, they're limited in sizes and shapes. You have a maximum of 16 feet wide. It's not fully customizable like concrete or vinyl, and the gel coat may develop cosmetic cracks, otherwise known as spider cracks, due to proper installation methods or poor manufacturing. For installation watchouts, fiberglass pools are precise but unforgiving during the install. Some common issues can include an out-of-level shell, wall bulging from incorrect backfill, spider cracks due to stress during handling, or floating or popping shells out of the ground. However, it's important to understand that hydrostatic pressure affects all types of pools, not just fiberglass. But fiberglass is more associated with the issue, so failing to account for hydrostatic pressure can have consequences really for any pool. So hire an installer that uses clean crushed stone backfill, includes a dewatering system for outside your pool, and understands soil movement if you live in colder climates. So no matter what type of pool you choose, the installer can make or break your investment. For any pool contractor, you want someone who does detailed site assessments, transparent planning and the process of the scope of what actually is going to be included in the install process, the proper backfill and drainage methods. What type of PVC used is important as well, because there's 2 kinds. You have flex pipe and you have hard PVC. Flex pipe is known to be softened due to its lack of chlorine resistance, which can cause cavitation. It's been known to be eaten through by rodents and bugs, as well as just generally being crushed by the weight of the earth above it because it's not meant to be buried. The manufacturers of flex pipe literally say that it's susceptible to being eaten by rodents or bugs. Installers like to use flex pipe because it's cheaper and it speeds up the installation process. But in the long term, they're not actually looking out for you as the homeowner. They're just trying to move on to the next job. So make sure that your pool installer chooses hard Schedule 40 PVC for the longevity of your pool plumbing. Warranties are important too, not just on the shell or the product of the pool that you're getting, but also on the installation labor. An amazing pool type installed poorly will become a regret, but a good pool builder will make even a basic pool last and perform beautifully. All three types of pools will last way longer if you manage your chemicals properly. Any type of pool with bad chemical maintenance will cause refinishing issues, and potentially you're gonna have to drain that whole pool and refill it full of water, which is hundreds if not thousands of dollars depending on what size of pool you have. So yes, every pool with poor chemical maintenance will have finishing issues. Every pool, it doesn't matter. So keep up on your chemicals. All right, that's all the types of pools that I can give you knowledge on. Now, I'm gonna give you my opinion. It's pretty obvious that we are a fiberglass pool installer because I got one behind me. It's what I talk about all the time. We think that fiberglass pools are the biggest bang for your buck in terms of long-term cost, because yes, they have a higher upfront cost than vinyl. They're slightly less expensive than concrete, but over 10 years, you're gonna spend less time cleaning, you're gonna spend less on chemicals. You've got a nice smooth surface. You don't have to worry about rips in the liner from pets or kids. We think they're the most family-friendly pool, and most of the time, customizability in terms of what concrete pools can offer versus fiberglass, it's not really a big deal to most homeowners because they're not gonna be spending hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars on these massive custom pools. Now, if you're that type of person and you want a concrete pool, absolutely. We don't recommend vinyl because we honestly think that in the long term it's gonna cause you more heartache than just getting a fiberglass. We've personally installed fiberglass pools from previous vinyl owners. We ourselves are actually previous vinyl owners. We had a vinyl pool here before this pool was installed, and we replaced the liner 3 times in 5 years. Now, you might just call that bad luck, and it was still a cost that we had to eat. In terms of hydrostatic pressure and pool shells popping out of the ground, since that is a con of fiberglass pools, you need 2 things to avoid that, and you'll never have it happen. You need full water pressure in your pool, and you need a dewatering pipe that goes next to your pool to be able to monitor the groundwater next to your pool. If you have those 2 things, you'll never have a pool pop out of the ground because you'll be able to pump the water out and you'll have full water pressure. Hydrostatic pressure, like I mentioned before, will affect both types of pool, all 3 types of pools, whether it's fiberglass, vinyl, or concrete. Concrete, it can crack and literally break the concrete around it. Vinyl liners can float, and then it can have shifting and settling of the walls of the installation. And yes, fiberglass pools will pop up out of the ground. But as I just mentioned, 2 simple things can avoid that problem forever. Now, in terms of spider cracks and not having a fiberglass pool in cold climates, because that's one of the biggest misconceptions I see, there is absolutely nothing about a fiberglass pool being in a cold climate that will increase the likelihood of spider cracks. How a fiberglass pool is manufactured is definitely the most important thing about it. Choose a reputable manufacturer, go through their warranties, because there's companies out there that really fight you on warranties. River/Thursday Pools, they're not one of those companies. Everyone we've installed a pool for has had a great experience, and that's just a testament to choosing the right builder. I'm Drew with River Pools. I hope this video was informative for you. I'm really trying to make sure that I can educate as many people as possible about pools. And if you're in the western Wisconsin, eastern Minnesota area, definitely reach out to me and let's have a conversation if you're interested in a pool. I'd love to talk to you. So if you want to learn more about fiberglass pools specifically, check out my channel. I have a ton of information on it. If you want to see how a fiberglass pool is installed, check out this video here where we actually put one in the ground.